Hey guys, what's up? It's Josh here back with another Kansas City Chiefs related video, and today I wanted to discuss a trade possibility for the Kansas City Chiefs just short of the final roster cut downs later today. And I know we'll probably see a little bit of trades and players waived from other teams that the Chiefs might be interested in, all that stuff, and we'll talk about all that, and I'll probably be talking about it on the Kingdom Crew podcast later today. But one player in particular that on the Chiefs that's come up in trade rumors is former starting guard Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, or also known as LDT. So Albert Breer on Twitter, who works for Sports Illustrated, he said that the Chiefs have received calls on Laurent Duvernay-Tardif. Here was the exact quote from Breer. Everyone's seemingly looking for offensive line depth, and the Chiefs have the same team that's line collapsed in the Super Bowl have become a place for teams to look for that help, which is a tribute to the job Kansas City did in rebuilding the position. Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, who was doing things more important than football last year, has come up in talks, but he's got a no-trade clause making it more likely he'll be on Kansas City's roster. Now, I will say that I don't think the no-trade clause when it comes to LDT, because I know I've mentioned trading LDT before. A lot of people have mentioned trading LDT, and they'll say, oh, he has a no-trade clause. Here's the deal. If the Chiefs say, look, LDT, Kyle Long's ahead of you on the depth chart, and Trey Smith, he won the job now, he's ahead of you on the depth chart, you're probably not going to play. I'm sure LDT would be more than happy to waive his no-trade clause if it meant he'll actually get playing time elsewhere. And I get LDT, I'm just going to call him LDT for the rest of the video. He's a great story. Everyone knows he opted out to be a doctor last year on the front lines of COVID, but at the end of the day, it's a business, and the Chiefs care whether or not you're helping them win on the football field, and it might just be time for them to move on from LDT because they have so much depth now that LDT becomes expendable. And LDT is a guy that, are we even sure he's in the 2 deep anymore? Like I said, and I've mentioned it multiple times in our Kingdom Crew podcast, that LDT is probably at his best right now when he's healthy, a little worse than Kyle Long when he's healthy. I think the Chiefs value Kyle Long when he's healthy. I think 80% of prime Kyle Long, which is probably what you could expect to get when he's healthy, is better than any play you could get from LDT, because we got to remember that LDT still fell off a little bit over those past couple years with the broken leg, and even now he's got a broken hand. He's already shown some durability issues. Again, I know Kyle Long is in the same boat. He's not someone that's known to be durable at all. But if you had the choice to pick between those two at full health, I think Kyle Long is the better player. LDT might know the offense a little bit more. Granted, though, the offense has changed a little bit, and LDT opted out last year, so he may have lost a step, and we still don't really know what LDT looks like now after opting out. I mean, honestly, where does LDT fit in at this point? Is he even ahead of Wiley? Can he play left guard instead of right guard and be in that kind of depth chart there, that 2 deep? I don't think so. I think Wiley's probably a little more reliable at this point than LDT, and Joe Thuney's obviously the starter at left guard, so LDT's kind of in this awkward spot right now because the Chiefs also don't gain anything from cutting LDT. There's no cap savings from cutting LDT, so unless the Chiefs really value the roster spot, I don't see them cutting LDT or releasing him. So I feel like that makes LDT a prime trade candidate, especially because I don't put a ton of stock into him having a no-trade clause. I think if the Chiefs were like, dude, you're not going to play here, he would easily waive that to go somewhere else because LDT probably still wants to play football. Now, maybe I'm wrong and he's a guy that really likes Kansas City and isn't really willing to play anywhere else and he just likes it here. I don't know, but I'm willing to bet that LDT still wants to play football and will accept waiving his no-trade clause to go somewhere else if that is the case. And LDT is still a capable starter in this league. I don't mean to knock him down a ton because he's still a capable starter. I mean, you definitely would take him on that Super Bowl offensive line if you had the chance. Like, he's definitely an upgrade over what they had last year at the spot. So, and that would be, Andrew Wiley, who played a lot of right guard last year. Like, I think LDT healthy is probably better than Wiley, but at this point, I think Wiley's maybe a little more reliable. And like I said, LDT has missed a lot of time, so Wiley may just be ahead of him when it comes to knowing the offense and that sort of thing. and he's also a little bit cheaper, but you get my point. LDT, it's looking kind of awkward for him, so maybe he has trade value around the league. A couple teams I mentioned, one, the New York Giants, they badly need offensive line help. They got a big year for Daniel Jones coming up, and they gave him all the skill positions loaded up. They got Saquon Barkley, they got Kadarius Toney, they got Sterling Shepard, they got Kenny Galladay, Kyle Rudolph, Evan Engram. Like, they have so many weapons, but a really subpar offensive line to go with it all. So maybe you just offer up LDT for one of their bottom of the roster, not even bottom of the roster. I mean, heck, maybe one of those middling guys. I mentioned Sterling Shepard. Maybe they don't value Sterling Shepard as much anymore. You swap LDT for Sterling Shepard. I don't know. Lucas Murphy from the beat of KC even mentioned the Miami Dolphins as a team that needs offensive line help and just has a boatload of receivers that could maybe help out the Chiefs. Like, there are teams out there that would value an LDT on their roster right now that they're just a better destination for LDT because he would actually play, and the Chiefs just have so much depth on the offensive line that a lot of these guys aren't going to fit in. We already saw the Chiefs deal one offensive lineman yesterday, Yasir Durant. He was a bottom-of-the-roster guy who fetched them a 7th-round pick. He made the team last year as a UDFA, so getting a 7th-round pick for a UDFA, that's a good trade. Yasir Durant probably wasn't any room for him here, and LDT may meet the same fate where he goes somewhere else because there's just no room for him. I mean, I keep saying it, but it's true. Like, when you look now, ever since Kyle Long got injured and Trey Smith won that starting job, and then LDT got injured, only further cementing Trey Smith as the starter, I think it's just been a free fall for LDT down the depth chart, and just kind of that overall offensive line hierarchy, because LDT is also another guy that doesn't have a ton of versatility across the line. Kyle Long can play a little bit of tackle too. Some of those other guys like Wiley and Blythe can play center or guard or tackle. LDT is just kind of strictly a guard. You don't really see him anywhere else on the line, so that's something you also have to think about. So I'm thinking maybe LDT is a trade candidate, but my question is for you guys, if the Chiefs were to trade LDT, what does his trade value look like, and who could the Chiefs maybe get in return for LDT? Because that's where I'm kind of having trouble. I do not have any idea what LDT's value is around the league, but I want you guys to let me know in the comments. Do you think we could see an LDT trade, and if so, what could they get in return for him? That's all I got for today, though, so make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this, and make sure you check out my work on ShowMeFootball.com and KCKingdom.com. Peace.